I added a little twist to my Plinko game. How come all these books have demons but they don't have angels? That makes no sense to me. Make it make sense. We're gonna open up our blind bag. Books that were recommended if you like K-pop demon hunters. So we're reading both of these. Hi, hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ivy, also known as the Geek Goddess here on YouTube. And today we are playing my favorite my favorite TBR game, which is my TBR game, Book Plinko. So if you guys have not seen how Book Plinko is played, basically the way that it works is I roll one of these dies, whether it be a D20, a D10, a D6, however many books I want to read that month, and that's how many Plinko Drops we do. As you can see at the very bottom, there are numbers here, numbers 1 through 7, and each one of these numbers corresponds with a prompt, which I have to follow for that Plinko Drop. Now, I added a little twist, a little fun twist to my Plinko game because I have officially added prize cards and punishment cards. So every time that I complete my monthly TBR, I get to roll a D4, which is going to determine how many prize cards I pick up. And if I do not finish my monthly TBR from the previous month, then I'm going to pick up a roll of D4 again and then pick out however many punishment cards. So I'm very excited to finally be using these. On top of that, I got these little money chips. Now this isn't a original idea that I came up with. This is actually inspired by somebody else's TBR game, but I will place it here because I was inspired by that and I took that inspiration and I put it into my Book Plinko. So basically for every book that I read during last month, I get one of these cute little chips. And each one of these chips has a amount, whether it be $1, whether it be $5, whether it be $10. And then if I get lucky, I might even pull out the $20 one. And that is how much money I get to spend that month on books. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go over last month's TBR. So last month's TBR was, the books that I had on my TBR were Bat Eater and Other Names by Corazing, Scythe and Sparrow, Rest Stop, We Live Here Now, Ruthless Vows, The House Across the Lake, Enchantra, The Library of the Unwritten, Heavenly Bodies, The Wedding People, and The Once and Future Witches. So out of all of those books, I only read 4 of them. So obviously I'm going to have to take the punishment. So I am going to roll a D4. So we're gonna roll a D4 to determine how many punishments we will be doing this month. 2. So here are my punishment cards. So as you can see on this side, we have the punishment, and then on this side it tells you punishment cards. So I'm going to shuffle these and draw 2 from here. Ooh, okay, so that one fell out. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw 1 more. Okay, so these 2 are my punishment cards, so let's take a look. Okay, so start a series you said you wouldn't start yet. And then my other punishment is to read a book with a color you hate on the cover. So we're gonna do these 2 afterwards. So let's roll how many Plinko Drops we are going to be doing for this month. Because we are adding punishments and stuff, I'm not going to be doing that many Plinko Drops. And then on top of that, we have to grab our little book that we're going to read for the month, the little blind bags that my daughter made. So here's this. Now, we're gonna open up our blind bag. Okay, so let's find out what my daughter picked for what we're going to read in August. So she picked Baby Moon or Bust by Ava Hunter, which is perfect. It's perfect. A perfect end of the summer book. Thank goodness that she picked it during the summer. because I was telling her, I was like, please don't pick a summer book during winter. So we're going to be reading Baby Moon or Bust, which is all about a woman who I believe is in her 30s, and she ends up having a one-night stand with a man, and then she gets pregnant, and then he doesn't know about it until he does, and then she's on her baby moon, and he decides to join her on her baby moon, and then the two of them try to figure out how they're going to raise this child together. So that's Baby Moon or Bust. That's the book that we're going to be reading that my daughter decided on. So let's do that, and then let's move on to the Plinko board. All right, so I realized I forgot to do my little money chips. So during the month of July, I ended up reading a total of 11 books, and that includes Siphon Sparrow, Bat Eater and Other Names for Corzing, Mapping the Interior by Stephen Graham Jones, Crossroads by Laurel Hightower, Frankenstein by Junji Ito, Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, Rest Stop by Nat Cassidy, That Time That I Got Drunk and Needed a Love Potion at a Werewolf by Kimberly Lemming, Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, Pizza Girl by Jean Kyung Fraser, and that's it. That's it for July. So I read a total of 11 books, so I get to pick out 11 chips from here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got a lot of 1s and a lot of 5s. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, $31 that I get to spend on books during the month of August. That's not that much. That's like one book. Okay, so $31 that I get to spend on my books for the month of August. Now let's move on to how many books how many Plinko Drops we are going to be doing. If the number is too high, I'm thinking I might replace 2 of the Plinko Drops with my punishments. But if the number is low enough, I'll just keep all the Plinko Drops. So, but it all depends. So let's go ahead and move on to the Plinko board. So I think I'm going to, I don't know if I should roll a D8 or a D6. I'll probably do a D6. 4 Plinko Drops. That actually sounds good. I'm actually happy with that. That's perfect because 4 plus 2 punishments and then that book. That's like 7. That's 7 plus there's other books that I want to read this month for book clubs and reading vlogs. So that is perfect. So let's move on to the Plinko board. So we're going to be doing things differently this time. First, I'm going to do all my Plinko Drops, and then we're going to head over to our little bookshelf TBR cart and then pick out the books after that. So let's do drop number 1. Number 4. Okay, so now let's do drop number 2. Number Tress. Okay, now drop number 3. Number 5. And then last but certainly not least, a drop number 4. Number 7. All right, so we're gonna start off with by grabbing our 2 punishment books. So the first one is Start a Series You Said You Wouldn't Start Yet. Honestly, for that one, I keep thinking, I really wanted to start Shadow of the Gods by John Gwain this month, but because it's saying to start a series that you weren't thinking of starting quite yet, I'm probably gonna have to go with The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. Okay, so I am doing this reading vlog where I'm reading the most recommended high fantasy books for high fantasy beginners, and I watched countless videos and read countless lists of the most recommended books for people that want to get into high fantasy, and this is one of the books that was on there. However, I wasn't planning on reading this one till like October, November-ish, but because we got this punishment, I'm gonna have to start it this month, and I'm going to have to sacrifice Shadow of the Gods to read this. So we're gonna start with the blade itself. I don't know what this is about. I read like the first few pages and it literally reads like it's playing a D&D campaign. And so I was loving it right away. So high fantasy, action-packed. Can't wait to read this. Okay, so number 2, read a book with a color you hate on the cover. Now, there's not really too many books that I hate, right? Or colors that I hate, I want to say. I mean, I'm not a fan of red's like an okay-ish color. It's not my favorite. Orange is probably a color that I'm like about. So I think, yeah, from between red and orange is like the most ickest color for me. So I'm gonna go with The Poppy War, which I had to read anyways this month. I'm gonna go with The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This is a book that I picked out for my in real life book club for this month because I need to read it. All I know is that it is a high fantasy. This is also going to be a part of that high fantasy blog that I'm doing, and that it is a historical feminist fantasy book, and that it will make me cry. So I'm ready to cry. I'm ready to cry. So I am excited to read this, and I can't wait to see what R.F. Kuang has in store, because this is going to be my first R.F. Kuang book since I DNF'd Babel. Okay, so moving on to our Plinko Drops. So the first Plinko Drop that I did, I got number 4, which is to buy a new book or to read a recently bought book. And for that one, I'm gonna go with the other in real life book club book that I have to read for this month, which is Jack Ketchum's The Girl Next Door. This is a book that was chosen by one of the girls in my in real life book club. All I know about Jack Ketchum is that he tends to be pretty gory when it comes to his horror. Apparently he's more of a thriller than a horror. And I don't know, I can't wait to read this. My second Plinko Drop was to get a TBR prompt. So I'm going to dip my hand in here and grab a prompt, a random little prompt. I'm gonna grab this one. This one seems good. And see what we get. So opening this baby up, we have, oh, this is tiny little writing. Goodness gracious. Nails. I'm not used to having nails, you guys. Okay, I closed it again. Has angels within the plot. Yeah! I'm gonna have to look for this one, you guys. I don't know. Do you have angels? There's demons. There's gods. Does that count? Probably not. Let's flip this over. Is there, oh, maybe immortal? Maybe immortal? There's gods and there's immortals. I don't know. Do I have anything with angels on here? The scorpion and the night blossom. Okay, I'm seeing immortality. I'm seeing gods. I'm not seeing... Oh, I popped off another nail. Does Enchanter have angels? They have demons. How come all these books have demons but they don't have angels? That makes no sense to me. Make it make sense. Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Let's see. Solitude. Celestial. Hidden from the Seer. Feared Celestial Emperor. Celestial Kingdom. Okay, so she makes her way to the Celestial Kingdom, disguising her identity. Okay, so there are people in the Celestial Kingdom that work for the Celestial Emperor. Would those be considered angels? I think that's the closest we're gonna get, to be honest, because I don't know if any of these books including the books on my shelves, to be honest, have any angels. So I think we're gonna go with Daughter of the Moon Goddess, which is going to be for a upcoming reading vlog that I'm doing this month because, you know, everyone's obsession right now is K-pop Demon Hunters.
Happy Whole Moon!
And I wanted to do a reading vlog where I read books that people recommend if you like K-pop Demon Hunters, and this was one of them. So we're reading this. We're reading this one. Drop number 3 was a 2025 anticipated new release. I'm hoping that one of these books, my Fairy Loot books, are these both from Fairy? Yeah, one of these Fairy Loot books, I got them this year, so I'm assuming that they came out this year. So I'm gonna double check, and then from there, I'm going to pick. Apparently, both of these books came out in 2025. This one came out in January, and this one came out in March. So we're going to be reading both of these books because these two are, again, books that were recommended if you like K-pop Demon Hunters. So we're reading both of these.
Sure, for the fans! Wait, what the? Mother has betrayed us!
Lastly, for drop number 4 is to spin the series spinner wheel, but to be honest, I didn't fill it out. So I'm going to cheat. I'm gonna cheat, you guys, and I'm just gonna grab a book that I have to read anyways because I've been holding off on it, and it is a part of the series, and it's to finally catch up because I'm behind now. And that is See You at the Altar, which is a cozy fantasy. This is book 3 in the Tomes and Tea series, the first one being Can't Spell Treason Without Tea. Book number 2 is A Pirate's Life for Tea, and then this one is See You at the Altar. So we're following the same 2 characters from the first 2 books. It's Kianth and Reina, and they are a sapphic couple, and we are following them onto another adventure, and I believe they finally get married. Everyone's favorite lesbian tea shop owners must navigate the ultimate maelstrom, their own wedding. Can't wait to finally see them get married and catch up on the series because the 4th one, that I believe might be the final installment, comes out this month. So that is my book, my, what is the word that I'm trying to think of? That is my TBR for this month. This plus the Baby Moon or Bust one are going to be all the books that I read. And I do have other books that I have to read this month as well. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much. Let me know what are the top 3 books that you want to read come August. And yes, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.